Ayo. 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 Kama we. Kama Dunia mobimba ke kumo Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait. Hey. Everywhere we are claiming our place. Partout, oui. Réclamons notre espace. Aïe, oh. Bonjour tout le monde, bonjour. Nous revoilà encore une fois de plus. C'est le mois de la célébration de notre histoire. Mais comme vous savez, notre histoire n'est pas juste qu'un mois dans l'année. Notre histoire, c'est la vie entière. Ce sont les années qui coulent, ce sont les jours qui passent. Notre histoire, c'est vous, c'est moi, c'est nous. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time again, one more time. We are meeting to, togetherness about our own story. It's your story, my story, and this story is you, is me. Because you are, I am too. So let's join hands, energy, just like one hands, holding on to our lives. Ayo. Yamvalo, yeah. Yamvalo, Yamvalo,
And welcome everybody to the 2022 Black History Month launch that is put on by Black History Ottawa every year for the city of Ottawa. I'm Sarah Onyango, and I am going to be one of your MCs once again. Welcome to all of our audience around the world, all over the internet. And I'm joined once again by.
Yes, c'est Jean-Marie Guerrier. Donc, je vais être le co-animateur de ce lancement officiel pour le mois de l'histoire des Noirs ici à Ottawa. Nous souhaitons bienvenue à vous tous qui êtes parmi nous. Et puis, nous vous invitons à vraiment regarder tout ce que nous avons préparé pour vous aujourd'hui en tant que message, en tant que prestation d'artistes, et puis toutes sortes de surprises aussi qu'on aura au cours de la journée. Donc, avant de débuter, nous devrons connaître un peu. Donc, Black History Ottawa reconnaît que nous tenons l'événement d'aujourd'hui sur le territoire non cédé et non soumis de la nation algonquine Anishinaabe, dont la présence ici remonte à des temps immémoriaux. Nous honorons la longue histoire des Algonquins qui ont accueilli de nombreuses nations sur ce magnifique territoire et nous soutenons et élevons la voix de leurs valeurs et de notre nation haute. Black History Ottawa reconnaît en outre l'oppression historique des terres, des cultures et des peuples originaux dans ce que nous connaissons aujourd'hui comme le Canada et croit fermement que le partage de notre histoire et de la leur contribue à la guérison et au voyage de décolonisation que nous entreprenons ensemble.
Yes, precisely. Before we get things going, Black History Ottawa does acknowledge that we are holding today's event on the unceded, unsurrendered territory of the Anishinaabe Algonquin nations, whose presence dates back to time immemorial. And we honor the Algonquins' long history of welcoming many nations to this beautiful territory. And we uphold and uplift the voice and values of our host nation. Black History Ottawa further acknowledges the historical oppression of lands, cultures, and the original peoples in what we now know as Canada, and firmly believes that sharing our history and theirs contributes to the healing and decolonizing journey we are on together. Once again, thank you so much to all of you who have joined us. We are live online and there is a chat. Feel free to talk to us in the chat, to react to what you are seeing, to say hello. Somebody has already said Jambo because they saw my Masai shuka and my beautiful Masai headdress, you know, east side, west side, you know, I'm just saying. And share the link. So my goodness, once again, it is a virtual event because of COVID-19. Speaking of which, we really would like to acknowledge all of those people who have lost loved ones in the past year since we last met. And we do convey our heartfelt condolences for that.
Oui, donc nous vous remercions encore une fois d'être parmi nous à cet événement virtuel. Et puis, nous voulons profiter de cette occasion pour aussi envoyer nos sincères vœux de sympathie à ceux qui ont été victimes de la COVID-19 et d'autres événements tragiques en 2021. Et puis, nous, Sarah et moi, nous allons animer la journée aujourd'hui. Mais vous rappelons que ceci est un travail d'équipe. Et puis, donc, ce serait important aussi qu'on vous présentons qui, à part de Sarah et moi, qui a été part de mettre ce grand événement-là sur place.
Yeah, so let's introduce the board, the rest of the board. Yeah, and that's our little team. It's a small but mighty team.
That's right.
And we get a lot of things done working together. And we're really hoping you're going to enjoy what you're about to experience over the next 2 hours or so.
Alors, parfait. Nous espérons que vous êtes bien assis et prêts à vraiment prendre part de ce que nous allons préparer pour vous. Et puis, si vous êtes prêts, nous commençons. Allez-y.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. God of our wearies, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far all the way, thou who hast by thy might led us into the light. Keep us forever in the path we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we may be. Lest our heart, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Oh, shadow beneath the hand, may we forever stay true to our God, true to our native land.
A decade of people of African descent speaking truth to the Black settlers' experiences. Our significant presence and contribution on this land predate the country of Canada by over 150 years. Indeed, up until 1961, over half
Oui, alors nous serons de retour super avec nos super belles prestations qui ont été préparées pour vous pour cette cérémonie. Comme vous savez, avec les événements virtuels, des petits problèmes techniques, des fois on expérience ça, mais nous sommes en train de travailler pour tout remettre en place. Donc, nous avons pour vous aujourd'hui à notre programme plusieurs messages de leaders politiques et des leaders communautaires. Et comme vous avez déjà vu, nous avons plusieurs artistes locaux qui vont participer à cette cérémonie. So we'll be back shortly with the performances that we have lined up for this event.
Yeah, Jean-Marie, I mean, you know, it is live and it is virtual. So this is sort of part of the deal when you're trying to do something like this, you know, and I'm sure, people understand, and it doesn't, the program is still going to be really, really exciting. And you know what? I like to acknowledge all these people who are, whoa, this chat is just filling. Nicole Waldron, 100 ABC Women, Flo Seniors, Monty Malejo,
I saw Kathy Grant saying, "Clean your space."
Kathy Grant, Legacy Voices, that is so neat. Patrick Auguste, oui, Patrick Auguste, notre ami.
Oui.
Who else did I see? I saw the amazing Amy Caudette, with a high school teacher extraordinaire.
Yes, Suzette Small, oui,
Teacher Suzanne, yes. Yes, teacher Suzanne.
Alors, nous encourageons d'envoyer vos messages sur le chat.
Oui, continuez. Tiffany K, we see you, Suzanne, yes, of course, the SVG community. Nadia, c'est tout, ça passe, merci, oui.
Oh, nous avons des Haïtiens en place. Oui, Haïtiens, ça passe, oui.
Nous là, Jasper Saint-Hilaire, oui, on vous voit, hein. Sabine, on voit aussi Shay Okurudo, an amazing photographer.
Yes.
We see you too. Carol Daly from the Jamaican community.
Yes,
we see you as well. Keep all of your messages coming while we unfreeze ourselves on this
and
side.
I'm glad you enjoyed the song, Carol. So I think we're ready. Nous sommes prêts pour retourner.
Keep the messages coming though.
Yes.
Okay.
Educated people of African descent speaking truth to the Black settlers' experiences. Our significant presence and contribution on this land predate the country of Canada by over 150 years. Indeed, up until 1961, over half of all Black
Yes, and we're back.
Hey, nous sommes de retour, oui.
It's cold outside. Maybe that has an effect.
Hopefully not, because we were able to make it. Nous sommes ici, donc le froid ne peut pas affecter la technique, mais on ne sait jamais. Chaque année, durant la cérémonie, nous avons le prix des bâtisseurs. Et Yasmine, que vous avez vu à l'écran, qui allait nous lire le Black Empowerment Statement of Truth, est une ancienne récipiendaire du... Oui.
And I'd like to acknowledge Ben Weiss of the Historical Society of Ottawa. You know, we've got a lot of allies and partners that we work with, and the Historical Society is one. Who else do I see? The Victory Speaks podcast is represented. Nicole, we see you. Ewart Walters.
Oh, is Ewart logged in? Oh, wow. Welcome, Ewart.
Virtually.
Yes.
Virtually. Ewart Walters, of course, a stalwart.
In the community.
C'est un monument dans cette communauté noire d'Ottawa. Franchement. Oui. Ouais.
Donc, alors, nous allons recommencer avec Yasmine Elmi.
Oui.
Sous peu. Avec son message. Le message va être lu, The Black Empowerment Statement of Truth, en français et en anglais, parole de vérité en français. Donc, suite à ça, nous allons poursuivre le programme Nous avons des performances, toutes sortes de performances.
Oui, beaucoup de performances et beaucoup de messages
Oui, beaucoup de messages.
de politiciens et de dirigeants municipaux. Hein? So, are we ready to go? Okay.
A decade of people of African descent speaking truth to the Black settlers' experiences. Our significant presence and contribution on this land predate the country of Canada by over 150 years. Indeed, up until 1961, over half of all Black people in Canada were Indigenous to Canada. Indigenous settlers to Canada includes your ancestors. Learn of that. Our sweat, skills, experiences, and contributions taken and used without consent and for free, built and shaped early Canada. Learn of that. For example, the Downey Collins family of Nova Scotia, whose presence in Canada stretches over 200 years. George Alexander Downey, a veteran of both World Wars who served in the No. 2 Construction Battalion. Robert John Downey Sr., a member of Black Watch 2nd Battalion Army boxing team and the Canadian amateur lightweight boxing champion for 1960. David Downey Sr., Canada's longest reigning middleweight boxing champion, who was inducted into the Nova Scotia Sports Hall of Fame in 1999. Raymond Sugar Ray Downey, who won a bronze medal at the 1988 Olympics in Seoul, South Korea, and is also a Nova Scotia Sports Hall of Famer. Their achievements and contributions to sports and military history have undoubtedly pushed and carved Canada into the powerful promise that it is today. Learn of that. People of African descent are resilient, brave, spiritual, and master builders who have been central to the campaign for equality and an equitable Canada. The new goal is African Canadian truth-telling, starting today. Learn of this.
La décennie des personnes d'ascendance africaine parle de la vérité des expériences des colons noirs.
Notre présence et nos contributions sur cette terre précèdent la Constitution du Canada il y a environ 150 ans. En effet, jusqu'en 1961, plus de la moitié des Noirs au Canada étaient nés dans ce pays. Vos ancêtres faisaient donc partie des premiers habitants du Canada. Souvenez-vous de cela. Notre sueur, nos compétences, nos expériences et nos contributions prises et utilisées sans consentement et gratuitement ont construit et façonné le Canada. Souvenez-vous de cela.
Un bon exemple est la Québécoise Yvette Bonny, pédiatre, hématologue et professeure d'université à la retraite. Née en Haïti en 1938, elle a fait partie des premiers contingents haïtiens à aller se perfectionner en médecine au Québec. En 1970, elle entre au service de l'hôpital Maisonneuve-Rosemont en qualité de pédiatre hématologue. 10 ans plus tard, elle y réalise la première greffe de moelle osseuse au Québec. Cette intervention, alors une technique de pointe peu répandue, sera 30 ans plus tard indiquée pour traiter certains cancers ainsi que des maladies hématologiques comme les leucémies et la drépanocytose.
Les personnes d'ascendance africaine sont tenaces, courageuses, spirituelles et d'éminents pionniers qui ont toujours œuvré au cœur de la campagne en faveur de l'égalité et d'un Canada équitable. Le nouvel objectif est de raconter la vérité sur les Afro-Canadiens, à compter d'aujourd'hui. Souvenez-vous de cela. Merci.
Oh my goodness, c'est sublime. Ce monsieur sait jouer du piano. That's John Daka, of course, from our Ghanaian community. John is a classical pianist, actually, but he does play jazz, pop, R&B, soul, etc. And he has played with various performers and bands, groups here in our nation's capital. He's also performing arts instructor at Carleton University. Oui,
Yes.
c'est un professeur à l'université Carleton où il a fait une partie de ses études d'ailleurs. Before that, people were remarking about Lisa Gay Price's singing.
Mhm.
Oh, can that girl sing? Sing. She doesn't sing, she sings.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a rendition of Lift Every Voice that just sent chills. And then, of course, two people have been going on and on about Eric Sarah's drumming.
Yes.
Alors, ce monsieur centrafricain qui sait tellement bien jouer les tambours et qui enseigne aussi, et il est aussi maître de cérémonie pour
Oui.
plusieurs événements. Mhm.
Et puis, nous allons aussi remercier Eddie Aline et
Eddie
Ken
Aline.
Roach.
Talk
qui
about
ont-
that because we have, by the way, in the chat we have Wendy Jones, who does have an entire steel pan, steel drum orchestra
Nice.
over in the GTA. And tell us about Eddie.
Well, Eddie, actually, when I mentioned that to him, the steel pan, right away he said, steel pan, he said, yeah, he thought about, il a aussi mentionné qu'on devrait ajouter un peu le drum à l'arrière,
ouais.
combiner les deux.
Ouais.
Et puis, je me disais comment ça allait sonner, mais comme vous avez pu entendre, I hope you enjoyed that great
Yes.
O Canada rendition with the steel pan and the drum in the background.
Hey, we keeping it black.
That's right.
We keeping it black right
Yes.
here. So who do we have coming up? I mean, come on.
And just before we introduce June, don't forget to thank Yasmin Elmi,
Oh,
Janice, and Rhea Simone that for the
Yes.
Parole de Vérité
Exactly. This
the-
black statement of truth. Absolutely. Especially in this UN decade for people of African
Perfect.
descent. And we like at Black History Ottawa to make sure our young people really are involved in as much.
Yeah, and claiming their
our
space.
work. Yes,
And now, let's hear from our president,
Yes.
from June Gervin.
Yes.
Maintenant, un mot de la présidente de Black History Ottawa, June Gervin.
Here we are today on the traditional territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe people. Here we are pledging to honor their stewardship of Mother Earth. Respect. I'm gifted to be a member of the BHO team, the circle who believe that together each achieves more. Black History Ottawa draws attention to the homage that is due to Africa, Mother Africa, the birthplace of our human race under the equatorial sun. And we pay homage too to the magic of melanin. Today is a tribute paying day. We pay tribute to force multipliers of African descent who are claiming space. Claiming our space means claiming health-giving, self-actualizing spaces, our right to existential justice. Claiming health-giving spaces mean refusing spaces in systems that were purposefully, cruelly designed and maintained to desecrate the humanity of people of African descent. Claiming our space means refusing spaces that diminish our capacity by any measure of the social determinants of health, spaces that burden us with ongoing intergenerational trauma. Today, we pay tribute to Frederick Douglass, for whom Black History Month is a memorial. On February 14, we will mark the 204th anniversary of his birth. Frederick Douglass was an agent of the Anti-Slavery Society of Canada, founded in Toronto on February 26, 1851. A theme of Frederick Douglass was, "Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did, and it never will." We pay tribute to those of you, those of us, of African descent and melanated skin, who are claiming our space: youth, educators, young professionals, entrepreneurs, social justice advocates, and others. We pay tribute to the framers of the UNESCO-led United Nations Decade for People of African Descent. The decade has been a force multiplier here in Ottawa. We have been claiming our space within the framework of the decade, which has 3 pillars: development, recognition, and justice. The decade also messages that people of African descent are a distinct group whose human rights have not been respected and must now be protected and promoted. In claiming our space within the framework of the decade, we have engaged organizations and influencers in our city. We've invited organizers and influencers to signal that they stand in solidarity with us by adopting the spirit and the intent of the decade, by making covenant in public, unambiguous, measurable way. In Ottawa, the commitments began with His Worship Mayor Jim Watson. On the International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination, Mayor Watson led the way with his proclamation adopting the decade for the city. Since then, organizations have signed on, committing to the spirit and the intent of the decade. The most recent are the University of Ottawa, Carleton University, the Historical Society of Ottawa, Temple Israel, and Ashbury College. These adoptees of the spirit and the intent of the decade are already creating a force multiplying impact that will yield space in our nation's capital. It has been beyond uplifting to engage with these persons who are deeply respectful of their own humanity, and being respectful of their own humanity, have the capacity to be respectful of the humanity of others. And having that capacity, are able to sign on fully to the intent and the spirit of the decade. Each of us has the power within us to be a force multiplier. Each of us has the power to get at least one organization and one person to signal their solidarity with the spirit and the intent of the decade. As we get a critical mass of signatories, we will have the spirit and the intent of the decade permeating the municipality of Ottawa. The spirit and intent of the decade will define the culture of our community. In this way, the spirit and intent of the decade will be embedded in what is culturally normal for a nation's capital. We can do it. We each have the capacity to be a force multiplier for development, recognition, and justice for our community. The decade formally ends in 2024. We have 2 years left to go. We have a lot of work still to do. As Robert Frost says, we have promises to keep and miles to go before we sleep. Miles to go. La lutte continue. Let us continue the journey together in 2022 and beyond. Please take your space as a force multiplier for the decade. In doing so, throughout the community, you get the joy of engaging with people who are the most beautiful of God's creations. To join the Force Multiplier movement, please send us an email at Black History Ottawa. We can do it. On y va.
OK. You
Do
could
we
put
talk?
us. Yeah, you could put us if you want.
Because dead air is just not the best.
Yes, des
Yes.
beaux messages de
Oui.
June, notre présidente,
Oui, oui.
et puis qui parle de tous ceux qui ont signé pour la décennie des personnes
Yeah.
d'ascendance africaine.
Yes.
Vous avez vu la liste, il y a plusieurs commissions, toutes les commissions scolaires et plusieurs autres entités
Yeah.
dans la ville d'Ottawa.
Yes, so thank you very much, June. Well, first of all, for that very poignant message and for the reminder, and also for pointing out all of the institutions and organizations that have signed on to this UN decade. Very important. Yes, claiming space indeed. And those were the people on the poster, in case people were wondering what those people are doing on the poster.
Oui, alors ceux qui ont vu les photos, les images des personnes sur notre poster et n'ont pas reconnu tous les visages, alors nous vous les avons présentés
C'est ça.
et
Ouais.
puis chacun réclame leur espace à leur façon dans leur domaine spécifique.
Mais ils réclament leur
pourraient-
place et notre place.
Oui, et notre place. Oui, et ils font de la
nous
place.
invitent à prendre la place.
C'est
Et ils font
exactement.
de la place pour que d'autres puissent prendre la place. right?
Exactement.
So it's not just about them. They're also creating space
That's right.
for the rest of us.
Claiming my space for me means a space where I can be myself. I can be fully in myself. I can express myself fully and freely. And that's one of the reasons.
Oh God, again? Okay.
You could come
So
to
we
us.
can come back on. And if it's not, no, because it's the whole stream that's
Mhm.
frozen. Yeah.
OK.
Que nous comptons aussi, peu importe où on se trouve sur la planète. Et ici, par exemple, nous sommes sur le territoire canadien et en particulier, par exemple, moi, je suis sur le territoire ontarien, mais en étant aussi au Canada, quelle est la place que nous, en tant que peuple, nous occupons? Quand je dis peuple, je parle du peuple qu'on appelle peuple noir, que moi, dans mes convictions, j'appelle le peuple kamite. Donc, réclamer notre place signifie qu'on a pris conscience et on reconnaît la place qu'on doit occuper. La place qu'on doit occuper, ça comprend qu'est-ce qui correspond aux besoins essentiels pour notre population, pour nos gens, pour nos frères, pour nos sœurs, pour nos familles. Alors, donc, il nous faut prendre notre place afin d'améliorer notre condition de vie, de faire face à beaucoup de situations comme le racisme et autres situations qui nous préoccupent jusqu'ici. So, claiming our place or claiming my place means that I have the knowledge of who I am, and I want to really realize that doesn't matter where I could be on the planet, I still have a space, I still have a place. So like here I'm in Canada, and particularly Ontario, so here I'm also productive, and this is where I belong, so I should claim where I belong, and I also should claim that everything should be put together for my betterness, my wellness, also my security. Safety is important. So things like claiming for anti-racism it's important. So one of those things like employment and all those things are critical for a well-being of a population. So I am claiming my place means I know who I am and I want to be who I am, where I am, anywhere I could be.
Yes, claiming space, very, very, very important. Prendre notre place. Before we continue, I'd like to acknowledge Jocelyne Constant de la communauté haïtienne.
Ma sœur.
Battante, oui, ça passe.
Jocelyne, regarde, tu l'as vu?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
Hello, Jocelyne.
I'm reading the chat.
Okay. I didn't have my
Yes,
glasses
yes.
on. Sorry,
Yes,
I missed
yes.
that.
So yes, we'd like to acknowledge her and her contributions. Eugène Omboli.
Eugène,
from the
oh,
Congolese
salut
community.
Eugène,
He
oui.
used to volunteer with Black
Mhm.
History Ottawa as well. So listen, We've got a whole bunch of goodwill messages that we received. I am so happy with what we managed to get for this year.
Oui, alors nous avons une liste de messages que nous avons reçus de plusieurs leaders politiques. Et vous allez entendre un peu leurs messages, ils vont nous dire pour eux autres ce que représente le mois de l'histoire des Noirs, et pas seulement ce que ça représente, mais un peu le travail qu'ils reconnaissent qu'ils doivent être faits. Alors, nous allons entendre des leaders politiques à tous les niveaux, fédéral, provincial, municipaux.
Right. So we're going to hear the goodwill messages talking about what still needs to be done while, celebrating Black History Month. So let's hear them.
Hi everyone, salut tout le monde. Greg Fergus here, Member of Parliament for Hull-Elmer and co-chair of the Parliamentary Black Caucus. Ici Greg Fergus, député de Hull-Elmer et co-président du Caucus des Noirs. Let me start by recognizing the leadership of Black History Ottawa. Since 1986, thanks to your education efforts, you have made the demonstration that Black history is Canadian history. Your work in the community, especially with youth, provides tomorrow's leaders with the skills and confidence to succeed and as well to continue claiming our space. Merci à Black History Ottawa de faire rayonner l'histoire des Canadiens noirs. L'histoire des Canadiens noirs, c'est l'histoire du Canada. Tout au long de février, en soulignant les contributions des Canadiens noirs, on a aussi l'occasion de réfléchir ensemble comment éliminer le racisme fort. Grâce à votre travail, vous ouvrez le chemin pour la relève, ce qui permettra à tous, Canadiens noirs et toutes les ascendances, à prendre leur place. Je vous souhaite un joyeux mois de l'histoire des Noirs. Have a happy Black History Month, everyone.
Hello, I'm Wanda Thomas Bernard, Senator from Nova Scotia, joining you from East Preston, Nova Scotia, traditional territory of the Mi'kmaq. As we experience Black History Month this year, again through virtual gatherings, I am taking time to reflect on the 7 principles, or Nuzo Saba, of Kwanzaa. I will be focusing on these principles as I attend virtual events over the month, using them to brainstorm solutions with various communities, and they will help guide me beyond Black History Month, forever February. In Swahili, the principles are Umoja, Kujitagulia, Ujima, Ujama, Nia, Kumba, and Amani. Each principle brings a specific message and reminder for showing up in our communities. We can apply the principles to any work environment, learning environment, personal environment, or any organization. As I explain each principle, I encourage each of you to consider how you can embody the Nuzo Saba in your life. The first principle, Umoja, is a reminder to create unity in your family, community, nation, and race. The second principle, Kujichagulia, is self-determination for people of African descent. It's a call to define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. The third principle, Ujima, is a promise to problem solve collectively as community. Your struggles and my struggles are one, and we will work together to solve them. The fourth principle, Ujama, is to develop cooperative economics, support Black businesses, and engage in lasting partnerships. The fifth principle, Nia, is about finding purpose and restoring historic greatness. The sixth principle, Kumba, is a reminder to bring creativity to all you do. Leave a legacy of creation and beauty. The final principle is Amani, or faith. This final principle is about believing in your community, believing in your ancestors, and believing that change is possible. Thank you for the work you are doing to create equity, diversity, and inclusion in the city of Ottawa. Each level of government has a responsibility to make changes from within. I encourage each of you to honor Black History Month year-round, reflecting on the 7 principles and how they may lead your community through transformative change. Happy Black History Month.
Je suis Marie-Françoise Mégy, sénatrice pour la province de Québec au Parlement du Canada. Je remercie M. Guerrier de m'avoir si aimablement invité à m'adresser à vous dans le cadre du lancement du mois de l'Histoire des Noirs 2022. Je félicite aussi l'équipe de Black History Ottawa pour avoir conjugué ses efforts et organisé un si bel événement. Le thème de la cérémonie d'aujourd'hui est « Notre histoire canadienne, réclamons notre espace ». Nous sommes presque au début du mois de l'Histoire des Noirs. Comme toute femme canadienne noire, je trouve essentiel que l'on puisse, durant tout le mois de février et même au-delà de ce mois, rappeler les contributions significatives des communautés noires au développement du Canada. Elles ne sont ni écrites ni enseignées. Il faut donc continuer à en parler. Vous connaissez l'histoire de ces millions d'enfants, de femmes et d'hommes africains qui ont été amenés de force afin d'être exploités en tant qu'esclaves dans les Amériques. Même si leurs histoires ne sont pas rapportées dans les livres d'école, vous en avez eu connaissance dans certains films, dans des bandes dessinées, vous dressant la plupart du temps une histoire déformée. Et pourtant, l'esclavage des Noirs fait partie du sombre héritage de la colonisation. Il a encore des répercussions sur les générations de personnes racialisées au Canada. Le mois de l'Histoire des Noirs nous offre une occasion de plus de souligner l'apport de personnages historiques noirs à l'édification du Canada ainsi que leur courage pour vaincre l'adversité. Que l'on parle de Marie-Joseph Angélique, de Viola Desmond, de Lincoln Alexander ou d'Oscar Peterson, ces Afro-Canadiens et plusieurs autres ont façonné notre identité et contribué à changer le cours de notre histoire. Durant ce mois, comme chaque jour, nous commémorons le riche héritage qu'ils nous ont laissé. Nous nous rappelons leurs nombreux sacrifices dans la lutte contre le racisme anti-noir au Canada. Nous regardons aussi vers l'avant. Nous nous engageons dans la conception et la réalisation de projets, ce, dans l'esprit de la décennie internationale des personnes d'ascendance africaine. Surtout, nous prenons le temps pour reconnaître les Canadiennes et Canadiens noirs qui, par leurs gestes et accomplissements, inspirent nos jeunes à devenir des acteurs de changement et à établir des liens avec leur patrimoine. Ces Afro-Canadiens réclament leur espace dans la société. Ils nous montrent que nous devons réfléchir sur le passé et s'en servir comme tremplin pour se projeter vers l'avenir. L'histoire des Noirs au Canada est notre histoire. En l'enseignant et en s'assurant que les communautés noires à travers le pays ont les outils nécessaires à leur épanouissement, nous pourrons réellement œuvrer à bâtir une société plus juste, équitable et libre. Je vous souhaite un riche mois de l'Histoire des Noirs et un événement empreint de succès. Merci.
February is Black History Month. It's an opportunity to honor the culture and heritage of our Black community and to celebrate the many contributions they have made to our province and our country. This year, we celebrate what would have been the Honorable Lincoln Alexander's 100th birthday. We're reminded of the trailblazers in Ontario who broke barriers and helped shape the province we know today. Our strength as a province comes from our diversity and inclusiveness. Black History Month is an opportunity for all Ontarians to strengthen their resolve and reaffirm our commitment to fighting anti-Black racism, hate, discrimination, wherever we see it. Let us continue working together to promote intercultural understanding and build a stronger, equitable, and more inclusive province where everyone can reach their full potential regardless of their background. I want to thank Jean-Marie and Black History Ottawa for hosting this empowering celebration. Thank you and God bless.
Hello, Black History Ottawa. On behalf of your official opposition NDP, I'd like to wish all of you a happy Black History Month. Of course, Black History Month looks a bit different than we were hoping this year, and all of us in communities across Ontario are missing the chance to connect in person and celebrate together. But throughout this pandemic, I've been so grateful for the powerful example and incredible work Black communities and leaders across the province are doing every day.
From education to justice, and from housing to the homelessness crisis, to the disproportionate impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on Black people, Black communities, Black businesses, Black children. I am honored and humbled as the chair of the Ontario NDP's Black Caucus to stand in solidarity with each and every one of you who fight for change, who fight for equity, who fight for us. I am proud of the work of our party, of our communities. We do this work in solidarity. We push governments to do better, to fix what's broken, and to finally center our voices in every single thing that we do. Together, we lay out a strong foundation, a foundation that will hold our children, our communities, and each other with the care, love, and support that we so deserve.
That's why New Democrats will never stop fighting alongside Black Ontarians for a whole of government provincial strategy that addresses racial equity and tackles systemic anti-Black racism in education, healthcare, justice, and in our economic recovery, both during the pandemic and beyond. 3 years ago, as part of our ongoing commitment to build Black perspectives and experiences into our work across the board, New Democrats launched the first ever Ontario Black Caucus with 5 Black MPPs, including Laura May as chair.
And every day, as your Black Caucus, as members of your official opposition, the NDP, we work hard to create a world that supports you. Heading into the next election in June, we are working to form a government that hears, responds, and holds you. With our powerful team of strong, community-rooted Black leaders in our caucus, we will reflect our community. Imagine a government with Black community members like yourselves sitting at cabinet tables.
And a government that doesn't just celebrate Black history in February, but works every day to join hands with Black leaders and communities to build a more equitable, prosperous, and just Ontario for all. Thank you. Merci. Miigwech. Niawe. And happy Black History Month.
Hello, bonjour tout le monde. I'm Yasser Nafi, a member of parliament for Ottawa Centre. I would like to join you in celebrating this year's Black History Month, a time to celebrate the many contributions of Black Canadians here at home in Ottawa and across our country. This year's theme is Our Canadian Story, Claiming Our Space. Black Canadian history is Canadian history. And no matter the month of year, Black Canadians help build a stronger Canada. Whether it's in academia, health, sciences, business, sports, or the arts, Black Canadians have made and continue to make an important impact on our country. This month also highlights the resilience of Black Canadians and reminds us of the work that still needs to be done to end systemic racism in Canada. I encourage all residents of Ottawa Centre to take part in online events for Black History Month to celebrate the everyday contributions of Black Canadians and amplify Black voices in our community. Thank you. Merci.
quelle belle prestation de John Dapa. Et nous remercions tous ces personnalités politiques qui ont envoyé de chaleureux et poignants messages. Yassir Naqvi, le NPD de l'Ontario, le premier ministre de notre province, et bien sûr la sénatrice, la docteure Marie-Françoise Mégy, la sénatrice de la Nouvelle-Écosse. I see people in the chat shouting her out. Wanda Thomas Bernard et mon député, Greg Fergus, le député de Hull-Ilmer, le premier et unique député fédéral de toute la région, Jean-Marie.
Oui. Well, thank you, and I hope you enjoyed all those goodwill messages that were sent to us by political leaders at all levels, from the Senate, from the federal level, from the provincial level. We've heard from people, from those in power and the opposition as well. So we hear the messages. The messages are, like we all said, they're great in February, but we are Black.
365, y'all.
So
yeah.
So the messages are great in February. So we are looking forward for what's being done beyond February.
And speaking of which, there's an election in June in Ontario. Did I hear that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope y'all are registered to vote and you're going to do something at the ballot.
That's right.
In June.
Yes.
So
claim your space.
Yes. Claim your space at the ballot.
Yes.
So we've got another set of messages, this time from the city.
Oui, donc nous avons quelques autres messages de nos leaders au niveau municipal. Donc nous allons entendre ce message. Et il y a quelques artistes que je sais qui attendent de voir leur performance, qui ont participé à notre événement. Nous avons, vous allez vous voir bientôt.
Hello, I'm Jim Watson, Mayor of the City of Ottawa. Bonjour, ici Jim Watson, Maire de la Ville d'Ottawa. Black History Ottawa's theme for Black History Month 2022 is Our Canadian Story, Claiming Our Space. This theme is framed by the United Nations Decade for People of African Descent, Development, Recognition, Justice, led by UNESCO. We pay tribute to the Black youth, educators, young professionals, entrepreneurs, social justice activists, and others who are claiming their space and driving the decade. Black History Month is taking its space in the coalition of organizations that, in adopting the decade, are co-creating an Ottawa Charter for promoting and protecting the human rights of people of African descent. Therefore, it's my pleasure to officially proclaim February 2022 as Black History Month. Therefore, I, Jim Watson, Mayor of the City of Ottawa, do hereby proclaim February 2022 Black History Month in Ottawa with the theme Claiming Our Space. Par conséquent, je, Jim Watson, Maire de la Ville d'Ottawa, proclame par le présent février 2022 Mois de l'Histoire des Noirs à Ottawa, dont le thème cette année de réclamer notre place. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.
Hello, I'm Ralston King, Ottawa City Councillor for Rideau Rockcliffe, and also Council Liaison for Anti-Racism and Ethnocultural Relations Initiatives. It is a great honor and privilege to be celebrating Black History Month this February with you. Black History Month provides us with an opportunity to acknowledge the innumerable contributions, beautiful legacy, and bright future of the Black community. It is a time to acknowledge and renew the promise of justice, equality, and opportunity, and to insist on the truth that Black lives matter. As the first Black City Councillor in Ottawa's history, I know the importance of our community claiming its space. As a consequence, I have been pleased to have been able to successfully advocate for the establishment of a permanent anti-racism office at the City of Ottawa to address systemic racism in our community and to reduce barriers that work to restrict our potential. This year, I am pleased that the City of Ottawa will unveil its first anti-racism strategy to confront systemic racism, including anti-Black racism. The strategy will include strategic actions along with key performance indicators to address key priorities identified by the community, which includes employment equity, economic development, governance, housing, youth development, and improving health outcomes. I believe launching a whole government approach to advancing racial justice and equity is key, and that is why I am also proud that the city specifically incorporated racial and gender equity into its new official plan, making Ottawa the first city to do so in Ontario. It is important that we do all we can to eliminate the pernicious scourge that is racism. We are not just morally deprived because of systemic racism, we are also less prosperous, less successful, and less secure because of its corrosive, destructive influence. It is therefore important that we combat its influence while continuing to celebrate Black achievement. Black History Month celebrates and amplifies Black excellence. Let us continue to advance forward while recognizing the great achievements and contributions of the Black community in our city and our country. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Bonjour à tous. I will start by acknowledging and honoring the peoples and land of the Algonquin Anishinaabe Nation. The Ottawa Police Service honors all First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples and their valuable past and present contributions to this land.
Yeah, so I hope everybody is taking in all of those messages. There's more people who've been commenting on the chat. Michel Bernard, on vous voit. Jude, Jean-François.
Oui.
We see you.
And you're right, you are claiming your space.
Yes,
C'est
claiming
vrai,
your
tu as raison,
space.
Jude, tu réclames ta place dans ton espace et nous apprécions le travail que tu fais.
Et Madame Isabelle Géretz-Rose, qui parle aussi de leadership, de jeunesse, mentorat, etc.
Et
Merci
je remarque que
beaucoup.
beaucoup de personnes ont admiré, ont aimé la pièce de John Kofi Dapa.
Yeah, John DePauw's fan club just grew
I know.
this much. Yes.
Mm.
So we figured out the technical glitch there. So we're going to get back to Chief Slowly's message.
And honoring the peoples and land of the Algonquin Anishinaabe Nation. The Ottawa Police Service honors all First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples and their valuable past and present contributions to this land. On behalf of the members of the Ottawa Police Service, I want to thank Black History Ottawa for their ongoing efforts to see peoples of African descent uplifted and united with pride and knowledge of their global heritage and legacy. The world is still mourning the passing of Bishop Desmond Tutu and also celebrating the many ways that he uplifted peoples of African descent while also uplifting all of humanity. Bishop Tutu said, "My humanity is bound up in yours, for we can only be human together." Inspired by leaders like Desmond Tutu, my vision is to build a police service where every community member and every service member feels safe, respected, and supported, no matter their background, no matter their status or their circumstances. Underpinning and uniting this vision are the principles and practices of inclusion, diversity, equity, and anti-racism. That is why during my tenure as police chief, the service will continue to make it a priority to recruit, hire, develop, and retain the most qualified, diversified, and resilient workforce possible. That is why it's my explicit expectation that all members of the service will actively champion a healthy, safe, harassment, and discrimination-free workplace. And that is why all Ottawa Police Service members will demonstrate a duty of care in every encounter with every member of the public to earn the public's trust and build partnerships that improve community safety and well-being for everybody in Ottawa, but particularly for those communities that are most victimized, marginalized, and who are often the most racialized communities. The service applauds and supports the many efforts of Black History Ottawa to uplift and unite us in the cause of building a more just and inclusive society. Be healthy, be safe. Thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Hello, Quay. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share a few thoughts with you during Black History Month. It's so important to have Black History Month to celebrate the contributions of Black Canadians throughout history and today. I really also want to say thank you to members of the Black community, to organizations, to groups that have really been championing social change and calling us to address the challenge of ongoing racism that's within institutions and across our society. I'm speaking from a position of privilege, and I know I need to keep learning about how racism is embedded in all health and social services systems, and that we need to work with the Black community to change this. Ottawa Public Health is committed to this work, and I want to say a little bit more about, what we see in terms of racism and health. Public health is always interested in measuring the health of communities and understanding why are some healthier and some less, and what can we do to change that. We know that health is so connected to underlying factors called social determinants of health, whether that's education, employment, income, and we see that racism affects all of those. So there's lots of data, that different educational experiences lead to different employment opportunities. Black men being more unemployed, Black women with similar levels of education to white women having underemployed status or unemployed status as well. It's not fair, and it affects health. It affects income, which affects health. And we see the connections across the lifespan when low income is a risk factor for involvement of child welfare in Indigenous and Black homes. And so we need to change this. And I'm speaking again, I can't speak for the lived experience of people experiencing anti-Black racism, but I'm speaking from a place of needing to share health data, that this really is a health issue, and the impacts of racism, whether it's interpersonal and systemic, over a lifetime, they create stress. It creates chronic conditions, whether physical or mental, and it can even limit life. So, I think what we see is, again, with COVID showing us some things, this pandemic we've lived through for the last 2 years, is that that's the status. And we see it showing up in terms of Black Canadians, people in Ottawa specifically, testing positive for COVID more often. But we also see how we can change this, because with guidance from the community, with input from leaders, we thought about how do we properly understand what's going on here? How do we collect better information about race? How do we hear what's driving those outcomes? What's the underlying story and reasons? And share this information in a way that the community thinks will be helpful to change things. So, that relationship-based work, that engagement, listening to communities was so important that we were able to then establish vaccine clinics in areas and in ways that would help decrease that inequity in who was testing positive for COVID and close the gap in that protection from vaccines. So we saw initially much more uptake just generally across the board in Ottawa, and neighborhoods with greater populations of racialized people in Ottawa just not having the same level of protection from the vaccine. We were able to close that with really specific efforts grounded in input from the community and partnerships. And I'm so thankful we can learn from this. It is going to take more work to change the whole healthcare system. We need to do work ourselves on anti-racism and anti-oppression training at Ottawa Public Health. We have policies to do this, and there's lots more we'll do internally. But I just want to thank you for how you're open to continue to provide that input so that we can go from vaccine clinics in neighborhoods that are more appropriately oriented to other health services that will be better meeting the needs of communities. So again, listening, really appreciate that partnership, that leadership from the community. This is a good way forward, and I do know there's a lot to be done, but with your guidance and expertise, I'm sure we can improve things. And so thank you, merci miigwech, and enjoy the rest of the Black History Month presentations.
This poem is inspired by the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I have decided to stick to love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. We speak mountains. Come over here, where we fall in love with ourselves again, where we bask in each other's welcome, where we break bread in peace and harmony. We don't need your invitation. We're not asking for permission. We can no longer live chained to your fears. We build our house on the shoulders of broken words. We've carried the poison of your words in our bellies for far too long. And the graphs and the paragraphs you use to erase, demean, and belittle us. Even your silence screams in a voice that tears us apart, to starve us of hope and joy. We assemble our cultures. We marshal our arts. We fill our bellies with new words. We speak mountains. We reclaim our power. We reclaim our voice. We reclaim our love. We swallow oceans, moons, and stars as we walk back to move forward. Stare ourselves in the mirror, greet our old selves, and ask for forgiveness. Anger can take us to dark places we never knew existed. We knock at legacy's door. Our words are all powerful. Our hearts are open. Our souls unite. Come over here, where we gather in our house of love. Here, we are all welcome in our house of love.
Hello, my name is Camille Williams-Taylor. I'm the Director of Education for the Ottawa-Carleton District School Board. As we move into February 2022, we recognize the histories, experiences, and excellence of people of African descent in our neighborhoods, in our city, and in our global communities. I often hear the question about why we have this focus. Black history was an invention of Dr. Carter Woodson in the United States of America in 1926. It was initially 1 week intended to counter a narrative of underperformance and disability. In 1995, the Honorable Jean Augustine drove the recognition of Black History Month into the realities and practices in Ontario in an official capacity. The why of Black History Month is about removing the veil of invisibility. It's about pulling back the curtain that obscures the greatness, excellence, and very presence of Black people in our communities. The why of Black History Month is a disruption of the single stories of people of African descent in our community. The why of Black History Month is about removing the veil of invisibility. It's about pulling back the curtain that obscures the greatness, excellence, and very presence of people of African descent in our communities. The why of Black History Month is a disruption of the single story about Black people. The why of Black History Month is about celebration, recognition, and enrichment of the talents, contribution, and journeys of historical greats like Oscar Peterson, Dr. Ruffin Abbott, Rosemary Brown. And it's an opportunity to learn about the impact of the Black leaders among us, like June Gervin, Dr. Kwadwo Kyermenteng, Police Chief Peter Slowly, and Councillor Ralston King, right here in Ottawa. And we can learn a great deal from the stories of Canadian global leaders like academics Dr. Avis Glaze and Dr. Afua Cooper, educators like Director Colleen Russell Rollins and Director Curtis Ennis, authors like Lawrence Hill and Malcolm Gladwell, and athletes Perdita Felicienne and Andre DeGrasse. Most importantly, the reflections of Black History Month serve as an inspiration for each of us as we author our own stories and build our own path to excellence. The stories of those who have achieved excellence and who have made impact include, but are not limited to, friction, disappointment, loneliness, and challenge. But these stories are also important reminders of the power of vision, resilience, potential, and community strength. So do take the time this month to reflect, learn, and explore these stories and the journeys of people of African descent historically and in our communities today. It is an opportunity to really see each other in the resplendent regalia of our excellence.
Conformément à sa stratégie globale en matière d'inclusion, notamment à son objectif stratégique de promouvoir un leadership inclusif, le Conseil des écoles catholiques du Centre-Est vise à augmenter la représentativité des catégories les moins présentes dans des postes de leadership.
Pilier 1, un environnement axé sur le bien-être, l'équité et l'inclusion. Au CECCE, la diversité et l'inclusion font partie de notre ADN depuis de nombreuses années. En ce sens, il est très important que nous offrons un cadre et un environnement qui permet le plein épanouissement, non seulement des élèves, mais également des membres du personnel. C'est pour cette raison que l'équité et l'inclusion font partie du pilier 1 de notre plan stratégique.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Valérie Assois, je suis conseillère scolaire sur la table politique du Conseil des écoles catholiques du Centre-Est. Depuis mon élection au CECCE, j'ai pu remarquer avec plaisir et grande fierté des avancées notables en approche anti-oppression et antiraciste. Notre plan d'équité, de diversité et d'inclusion, qui a un impact positif sur tous les groupes d'équité en lien avec la communauté scolaire, a 3 axes principaux. Améliorer la culture organisationnelle, l'équité en emploi et l'inclusion dans les postes de leadership. Durant tout ce processus, il est important de noter que notre Conseil a compris la particularité des traumatismes liés aux communautés autochtones et afrodescendantes dans l'échelle de la diversité, au point où, après la reconnaissance du territoire, le CECCE a ajouté en décembre dernier une déclaration contre la discrimination à l'endroit des Noirs qui sera lue lors de toutes ces séances publiques. Je vous souhaite un excellent mois de l'histoire des Noirs.
Oui, merci beaucoup pour ce beau message, Valérie Assois, et nous félicitons tous les conseils scolaires qui ont adopté la décennie pour les personnes d'ascendance africaine et qui font des efforts pour vraiment atteindre les objectifs de cette décennie. And speaking of school boards, I'm seeing in the chat, people are really reacting to Director Camille Williams-Taylor's The Why speech. It's called The Why. It's got its own, it's going to have its own
The Why
hashtag,
speech.
The Why speech. And someone also remarked about Chief Slowly's speech, and he did reference the late Archbishop Desmond Tutu of South Africa, an absolutely amazing leader in the struggle to end apartheid, but also for racial reconciliation.
Oui, alors comment résumer tout ça, tous ces beaux messages qu'on a entendus? Je pense que Sherry l'a fait avec dans son poème We Speak Mountains. Donc, nous avons entendu plusieurs messages et beaucoup de vous ont réagi, ont aimé ce que vous avez entendu. Donc, encore une fois, nous allons regarder aux actions, mais nous avons entendu des commissions scolaires et du chef de la police, Chief Slowly. Et puis, vous avez aussi commenté sur le fait qu'on a entendu de Dr. Vera Etches pour comment on réclame nos espaces et ce qui reste encore à faire au niveau de la santé. Donc, nous vous remercions encore de rester avec nous et puis nous allons passer à une nouvelle partie.
So moving to a whole other direction. This usually is actually a highlight of this launch. What's going to happen now?
So this is where, alors voici la partie que lorsqu'on est en personne, que tout le monde attend, c'est lorsqu'on dévoile le thème de Post-Canada pour le mois de l'histoire des Noirs. Alors, sans plus tarder, Sarah, nous allons...
The Canada Post stamp for 2022.
Eleanor is a pioneer in more ways than one. If you talk to her about her family history, you know that they were free people who came up from the United States and came to Canada to homestead land that was being offered. So she comes from pioneers, people who launch out into the unknown and face it with courage and all their strength.
Chasing dreams and placing bets.
When the Collins family moved from Alberta to British Columbia, the white neighborhood they moved into raised a petition to prevent this Black family from moving in. But she decided she wanted to help the neighbors understand who they were as people. She volunteered at the local school, taught music, and began to break down the many barriers.
You know, she
wasn't afraid to put herself out there as a performer and as a band singer, as a radio singer, TV personality, theatrical singer with her work with Theater Under the Stars, and also in church singing because she had that background in gospel music as well, that she was so versatile and embodied so many different genres and styles of music that all came out as 100% Eleanor Collins.
For her to have her own television show, The Eleanor Show, named for her, is a remarkable and phenomenal act. And so that alone, I think, is again another moment of singularity for her. And it defied the stereotypes.
Ever since I first met her in 2009, I cannot believe that every Canadian hasn't heard of Eleanor Collins. That's how well known she should be in our country. She should be a national icon.
We know the names of that first lineup of performers. We know them by their first names, like Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday, Lena Horne. And I think we in this country, Canada, need to know Eleanor Collins because she is in that first lineup.
Eleanor Collins, you never cease to amaze us with your quality and success. You are such an inspiration. You have worked hard for this moment, and we couldn't be more proud of you.
For life, for love. So, here's to life. Willow, weep for me. Willow, weep for me. Bend your branches green along the stream that runs to sea. Listen to my plea. Listen, willow, and weep.
Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. On the day I was born, said my father, said he, there's an elegance waiting for me. There's a rhyme for your lips and a song for your heart to sing whenever the world falls apart. Oh, look, 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 look to the rainbow. Follow it over the hills and sea. Look, look, look to the rainbow. Follow the fellow who followed the tree. Look, to the rainbow. So I walked up my heart and I roamed the world free. To the east with the love, to the west, to the sea. And I searched all the earth, and I scanned all of the skies, and I found out the true lover's eyes. Oh, look, 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 yeah. Look to the rainbow, follow it over the hills and sea. Look to the rainbow, follow, 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 follow the dream. Ooh, follow the fellow, follow the dream. Follow the tree.
Et bravo, bravo, notre chère Ferline. And Jaspar Saint-Hilaire even said bon bagay.
Bon bagay net.
Right?
Yes.
Yes. And do y'all have yours? Yeah. Y'all need to run, not walk, to get your Eleanor Collins stats, right? Yes. Thank you very much. For people who continue to comment, Ralston King has been watching, which is awesome. And yes, Adrian Caudette. Teachers rock, educators rock. They rock.
That's
okay?
right.
They totally rock. Sue Obiora, who's also one of our leaders in the health.
The health community.
Yes, community. So that's great. Well.
So I just wanted to say quickly, je voulais dire que la chanson que vous venez d'entendre, that song that you just heard, was Ferline singing, interpreting a song from Eleanor Collins. Many people may not have known Eleanor Collins, but I'm sure after you heard that song, you're going to want to listen to more of her songs. So thank you again, Ferline, for this great rendition.
So another segment, and I think this is the highlight for everybody, is the presentation of the annual Community Builder Awards. And we have had the support of RBC to present this. And so we're going to hear a message on behalf of the sponsor for these awards, n'est-ce pas?
Oui, monsieur. Donc, on va entendre de Osvaldo Gentil, qui vous représente RBC, qui est notre commanditaire pour cette partie de notre programme où on présente les prix des bâtisseurs communautaires.
And for those of you for whom the name Osvaldo Gentil sounds familiar, Osvaldo Gentil was a point guard for
For Carlton,
the five-time
yes.
national champion,
Carlton Ravens.
Carlton Ravens. I shouldn't say it so flatteringly because I'm a Gigi, but
well,
hey, it's all love. It's all love.
Good.
So let's hear from him.
I'm glad you could get over that.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Osvaldo Genti. I'm a financial planner at RBC. It's a true pleasure to be speaking at the Black History Ottawa opening ceremonies. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the organizers for all their hard work, but most importantly, for all their hard work 365 days out of the year to help provide mentorship, programming, and educational resources for our community. Of course, we're here to acknowledge and recognize Black History Month and the accomplishments of Black Canadians. The past few years have been unlike any others. COVID-19 pandemic coupled with anti-Black racism has been part of the headlines. It took the tragic year in 2020 for the world to realize the work ahead. Here at RBC, we're not perfect, but all I know and the reason why I'm so proud to be part of this organization is the fact that we acknowledge the issues and we're working towards doing better. I wanted to take a moment to talk a little bit about my background. I am from Haitian descent. I came here when I was 6 years old. And coming from a Black Haitian family, from a poor background, it was important for me to have good mentors and people that are there to help me and give me an opportunity, not only for education, but also how sports helped me. When I grew up, I played at a French high school, Samuel Genet, and at that point in time, we were mainly Haitian people. And that's where I found my sense of community. Later on, I went to Carleton University to play basketball. And surprisingly, when I went to Carleton, I was one of 2 Black people on the team at that point in time. People didn't think that playing at Carleton was something feasible, or even going to the extent of playing pro. I'm one of the main reasons why that now there's a lot of Afro-Canadians that are going to play basketball at Carleton. We went from being 2 Black players to now, I would say that the majority of the players are Black at Carleton. I continue to help the community in that way. I think an opportunity was given to me, and the opportunity to change how Black players are seen. As a coach, I really look forward to give the opportunity to these Black players. And I think really, that's really all we've ever needed is an opportunity. Our youth are our future. They're the most important part. And all we need to do is to continue to open doors for them in order to help guide them so that they can make better decisions and they have the same opportunities as our counterparts. I continue to commend you for all that you've done, and I want to thank you one more time, and that's why I'm so proud to be here today. In closing, I'd like to thank you sincerely from the bottom of my heart for all you do for the youth and our future. Just know that no matter what happens, you've impacted somebody's life by giving them an opportunity. Thank you for having me, and have a good ceremony.
What's going on? What's happening?
Sarah's supposed to talk.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. So listen, thank you very much to Osvaldo and to
Yes. I
RBC. And
heard Oz the legend.
Oz the backcourt
The
legend.
backcourt legend. Thank
According
you,
to
Ellen, for
EJ.
letting us know.
Thanks, EJ, for that, for reminding us. So listen, let's get straight into it. We're going to start with the adult category for the Community Builder Awards. And we're going to start with a legend in his own right, Ewart Walters. Ewart Walters, who, while serving as a diplomat, a senior advisor, a journalist, an author, or as a volunteer, has consistently committed to ensuring that Ottawa's visible minority communities have a voice and a face. Ewart Walters edited and published The Spectrum, Ottawa's Black community monthly newspaper, for 29 years straight, defending and promoting the rights of visible minorities in Canada. His volunteer contributions to Ottawa's Black community began all the way back in 1964 as a co-founder of the West Indian Association of Ottawa, and expanded as one of the creators of Black History Ottawa, this organization, Harambe Canada, the National Council of Jamaican Canadians, the National Council of Visible Minorities. He was also the founding member of an organization called Black Agenda Noir, a triple gold medalist prize winner of Seprod Awards for Excellence in Journalism. He graduated from Carleton University right here in Ottawa, and he got his master's and his bachelor's degrees there. And in 1965-66, he served as the editor-in-chief of the Carleton, which is now the Charlatan, I believe, becoming the first Black editor of this weekly student newspaper. So he's won quite a few accolades. We don't have time to list every single one of them, but let's note the Order of Ottawa in 2015, the Canadian Ethnic Media Award for Print Journalism, the United Way Community Builder Award, the Dream Keepers Martin Luther King Jr. Award for Outstanding Leadership, and he's really proud of this one, the Order of Distinction Commander Class from the Government of Jamaica. And today, Ewart Walters receives the BHO Community Leadership Award for, and you can see that on your screen, his leadership, community engagement, advocacy, specifically as the founder of The Spectrum and as a defender of visible minority rights and member of various organizations that I've already listed. Bravo, Monsieur Walters.
Well deserved.
Moving right along, we have Meron Berhe. Meron Berhe is an Ottawa native, a project manager, a consultant, digital marketer, and entrepreneur. She's the co-founder of Build Out Loud, a community for diverse women to design their dreams. I like how that sounds. So Build Out Loud helps entrepreneurs, business owners, creatives, intrapreneurs by facilitating connections and providing tools for them to level up their projects, businesses, or startup ideas. She's also the founder of Black Ottawa Connect, and that's how we got to know her. Black Ottawa Connect is now a nonprofit. It started off as a page on Facebook, but it's now a nonprofit organization that creates a safe space for Black folks in the Ottawa-Gatineau region to connect with each other online. She's also the co-founder of Bantu, an app that connects Black women with hairstylists who can style their hair. So she's won a few accolades, and she's been featured in various media. I saw something about her in Elle magazine, by the way. She was nominated for L'Oréal's Women of Worth Awards, the RBC Women of Influence Awards, and she was also nominated for the Businesswoman of the Year Awards. So today we're going to add to that stash She receives the BHO Community Leadership Award for her leadership, community engagement, and advocacy, specifically as a creator of Black Ottawa Connect, which is now a valuable resource for economic development and networking in Ottawa. Je te passe la parole, Jean-Marie, pour la prochaine.
La prochaine, donc nous avons Lise Pascal Inamucho. Lise Pascal est la directrice générale du Centre de service à la famille, la région de la capitale nationale. Sa passion pour l'autonomisation, l'équité et l'inclusion des femmes se reflète dans son important travail bénévole dans cette communauté. Lise Pascal a été directrice du service communautaire au Rotary Club d'Orléans, coprésidente de la Marche des femmes d'Ottawa, directrice du 613-819 Black Hub Noir. Elle est membre active de l'Ottawa Board of Trade, de la Coalition pour un transport sain, du Mouvement d'implication francophone d'Orléans, le MIFO, et de l'Association du patrimoine familial francophone de l'Ontario. En 2020, Lise Pascal s'est présentée au Conseil municipal d'Ottawa dans l'élection partielle de Cumberland. Lise Pascal a terminé parmi les 3 premières sur 10 candidats inscrits. En 2021, Lise Pascal s'est présentée comme candidate néo-démocrate dans Ottawa-Vanier et a terminé 2e dans la course. Lise Pascal a donné d'innombrables heures de bénévolat aux efforts de secours de la COVID-19 avec diverses organisations et de sa propre initiative pour donner aux familles et aux jeunes dans le besoin de la nourriture, des vêtements et des jouets pour les jeunes enfants. Lise Pascal est une humanitaire. Elle a créé sa propre fondation, la Fondation Inamucho Peace, qui s'occupe des jeunes du Burundi qui ont récemment émigré au Canada. Son travail lui a valu des distinctions telles que le prix de reconnaissance des femmes et des filles dirigeantes d'Orléans. Aujourd'hui, Lise Pascal reçoit le prix de leadership communautaire pour son leadership, son engagement communautaire et sa défense des droits, notamment en tant que bénévole auprès de l'Alliance des Burundais du Canada, de l'Association canadienne des jeunes Rwandais et de l'Association Humura et de 613-819 Black Hub Noir.
Our next recipient, Denise Isaacs, she'll be familiar to a lot of people. Denise is a longtime public servant and a committed community volunteer. She has volunteered with the CHU 89.1 FM radio show Black on Black since the early 90s as a host and producer, and she has held similar roles with CKCU's Reggae in the Fields, and that was from 96 to 2000. She has volunteered with the Guyana-Ottawa Cultural Association in various roles in the executive. At one point, she was president of GOCA, and she also has volunteered as a member at large. And that organization has recognized her work with an award for outstanding contribution over 10 years, the Leslie Chin Award for Excellence in 2017 and 2019. Denise is a valued member of the Promoting Healthy Lifestyles Planning Committee and has volunteered with Black History Ottawa since the 1990s. And she is actually one of our most popular readers in the annual Children's Stories in the Diaspora. She's also a member of the Federal Black Employee Caucus, and she's a sought-after MC and moderator for community panel discussions and workshops. Her efforts have been recognized with the National Capital Region Why Women of Distinction Awards in the arts category. That's when she was with ACDAS, the theater group. And she's also been highlighted in Who's Who in Black Canada. And today we are going to add to her list. Denise receives the Black History Ottawa Community Leadership Award for her contributions as a leader, organizer, moderator, and host with various community organizations, including ACDAS, Black History Ottawa, and the Guyana-Ottawa Cultural Association. Bravo. So now we're going to move to the youth category. Oh, and who do we have here? Amateur Rahim Salam Alada. She's an honor roll student at South Carleton High School, And after noticing that her school did not have space for Black and other racialized students to be themselves, she started the school's first ever diversity club called Appreciation of Diversity. Amateur Rahim started that club to give BIPOC students a place to share their stories, be proud of who they are, and make a noticeable difference in students' self-esteem and confidence. And in addition to creating this club, she's a leading member of the student government. She's a facilitator for the Black Student Mental Health Focus Group at OCDSB, as well as a student voice facilitator for the OCDSB Human Rights Policy. And in 2021, she received the Youth Ottawa's Spirit of the Capital Youth Award in the Take a Stand category. So today, Amatou Rahim receives the BHO Youth Leadership Award for her leadership, community engagement, and advocacy, specifically as a student trustee, working to obtain more culturally responsive guidance counselors for Black and Indigenous students, among other things. And we're going to stay with the school boards with the next recipient of the BHO Youth Leadership Award. And that is the 365 Black Student Union group at Sir Wilfrid Laurier Secondary School. So the Black 365 Student Union Initiative was created by a small group of students working on activities and events for Black History Month in 2021. Responding to the rise of anti-Black racism across Canada and the US, students wanted a space where they could meet to discuss their unique lived experiences while fostering their Black identity, culture, and sense of belonging in their school and in their community. The Black 365 student leaders identified 6 key pillars as a foundation for space. For future, Sir Wilfrid Laurier students to follow and build upon. Yes, that's it. So 1, supportive space. 2, education. 3, outreach as representation. 4, empowerment. 5, engaging broader OCDSB community. And 6, building opportunities for allyship. And they've created Soul Time. Soul Time is a drop-in open to all Black students at Sir Wilfrid Laurier. And they've also created Black Thought Crew, which is a working group to organize events and promote advocacy on issues facing Black students. And my goodness, I could go on and talk about, for example, their work with the Ottawa Public Health to organize a workshop called Mental Health and Stigma, the Power of Language, which centered on the mental health experiences of Ottawa's Black community. And the social media account that they created to promote events and highlight the contributions of Black people on internationally recognized holidays like Islamic Heritage Month, Transgender Awareness Week, Remembrance Day, etc. And so today,
yes,
the 365 Black Student Union received the Youth Leadership Award for their leadership and advocacy in creating safe spaces and opportunities at their school for African, Caribbean, and Black students to share their lived experiences and address systemic racism. Je te passe la parole, Jean-Marie, pour la prochaine.
OK, alors la prochaine récipiendaire de notre prix pour les jeunes, c'est Maïcha Bosiko, qui est une chanteuse, mannequin, actrice, et elle a seulement 15 ans.
Oui.
Elle travaille très dur. Elle est à l'école à temps plein, à l'école secondaire Franco-Cité. Elle joue actuellement avec Bookie Talent, Toronto, et fréquente également à l'Ottawa Vocal and Dance Performance Academy. Sa chanson Nobody a été diffusée sur la station de radio New Hot 89.9 en novembre 2021. Maïcha croit que le fait de donner aux jeunes et aux femmes du monde entier les moyens de se prendre en charge et de diriger des projets mènera à des innovations plus étonnantes et à l'amélioration des communautés. Pour se préparer à de tels rôles, elle a suivi en 2019 un cours de leadership en entrepreneuriat féminin où elle a développé ses compétences en matière de prise de décision, de motivation, de communication et de confiance en soi. Elle démontre ses compétences en matière de leadership en s'impliquant dans les activités communautaires telles que l'entraînement d'une équipe de football dans le cadre de Find You French League en 2019. Maïcha est compatissante et aime donner en retour. Lorsqu'elle était jeune, à la fête pour son 9e anniversaire, elle a demandé que l'argent soit donné aux enfants malades du CHIO au lieu de recevoir des cadeaux d'anniversaire. Elle a recueilli plus de $700 qui ont été donnés au CHIO. Elle a également aidé un ami à organiser un événement de collecte de fonds, Happy Heart, afin de récolter des fonds pour CHIO en 2016. Avant la pandémie, chaque année, elle, ses parents et ses sœurs passaient une journée à préparer des centaines de sandwichs et des sacs d'urgence pour les livrer à un refuge pour sans-abri à Ottawa. Maïcha veut également aider ses pairs à mener une vie saine. C'est pourquoi elle a participé à la campagne anti-fumée de Santé Canada en 2020 en créant des vidéos TikTok. Alors aujourd'hui, Maïcha se reçoit le prix BHO du leadership jeunesse pour ton engagement communautaire et ton bénévolat. Et pour ta participation à des activités de collecte de fonds pour CHIO et tes initiatives en faveur des sans-abri, ainsi que ta musique habilitante et tes projets éducatifs sur les médias sociaux.
Bravo, bravo. Really, it's nice to see young people, becoming philanthropists and claiming space.
Claiming space. Yes.
Like that. And next, we have the Every Child is Sacred Award. Dr. Barwell, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually the Jakira Dinkinash Every Child is Sacred Award, which is given by June Gervin every year. And this year's recipient is Dr. Richard Barwell, who, as you can see, is the Dean of the Faculty of Education at the University of Ottawa. So this is the citation from June.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Richard Barwell, thank you for accepting the Every Child is Sacred special recognition. It is linked to the adoption of the spirit and intent of the UNESCO-led United Nations Decade for People of African Descent. Development with people of African descent recognized as a distinct group whose human rights must be promoted and protected. This is legacy work. The aspiration is that with the adoption of the decade throughout the municipality of Ottawa, our national capital will be experienced as a safe, child-friendly community by all children of the sun. You, along with your colleagues at U Ottawa's Faculty of Education, have adopted the spirit and intent of the decade. In addition, you have become personally invested in the legacy aspiration, the aspiration for Ottawa to be experienced as a safe, child-friendly, and just community by all children of the maple leaf, children of all human colors of the sun. Your personal and professional investment as a signatory to the decade is deeply appreciated. It is a culture changer. Black History Ottawa and Dinkinash Education Center, Every Child is Sacred, are indeed pleased for the opportunity to show this public appreciation to you. Yes, the John G. Dennison Award, very, very close to my heart. John, the late Judge John Dennison was not just a mentor to myself, but to many, hundreds literally of people in the National Capital Region and beyond. And so Black History Ottawa created this award in his memory, as he was a huge supporter of Black History Ottawa. This year's recipient, my goodness, Dr. Dorothy Williams. She's a historian, researcher, and public speaker who specializes in Black Canadian history. She has authored 3 books, including Blacks in Montreal, 1628-1986, and Urban Demography, which examines the impact of Canadian discrimination, skewed immigration, job market segmentation, and housing exclusion. She's also written The Road to Now, A History of Blacks in Montreal, which examines the Black presence in Montreal from the first European settlements to the present day. Dorothy grew up in the historic Black community of Little Burgundy in Montreal. She's contributed to other scholarly and academic publications. And with the objective of making Black history accessible for all, Dorothy's long-term research has concentrated on the creation of popular reference materials about Black history in Canada. In 2006, Dorothy established blackbiblio.com specifically to create a comprehensive online bibliographic record of the historical presence of Blacks in Canada. Dorothy's unique historical knowledge is in demand in many diverse fields. She has consulted on several films, such as the NFB's award-winning production of Showgirls and Martine Chartrand's Black Soul Âme Noire. She has also researched and written the content for the website Historians Recount, Les Historiens se racontent. She has acquired over 20 years of work and volunteer experience within the community and is often called by organizations to consult on matters within the community. And for many years, she has volunteered as a community archivist for the Black Studies Center and lent her expertise to the Atwater Library. And right now, she's the Operations and Fund Development Manager at Desta Black Youth Network. She's on the board of the Quebec Anglophone Heritage Network and the Costa Angélique Institute. She's already won a bunch of accolades, including the Mathieu de Costa Award given by the Black Coalition of Quebec in 2021. She was shortlisted for the prestigious Governor General's History Award for Excellence in Community Programming. And we are adding to her list of accolades by bestowing upon her today the John G. Dennison Award for her leadership and years of community engagement, and specifically her research, scholarly publications, teaching, and public speaking engagements showcasing Canada's Black history. Alors, je vais te laisser parler de la lauréate du prix.
Le prix de président. Oui, alors chaque année, nous présentons un prix, le prix du président, à quelqu'un qu'on considère un allié et qui fait la promotion de la diversité. Et cette année, ce prix va à Liz Wong, Elizabeth Wong, qui, au cours des 5 dernières années, a été gestionnaire de la conception à Post Canada. À ce titre, elle développe et produit chaque année un tiers du programme de thèmes. Le mandat de son groupe est de produire des timbres poste, des produits de soutien et des articles de collection canadiens. Elle travaille avec la haute direction, le comité consultatif canadien sur les timbres poste indépendants et des intervenants externes pour assurer la gestion de projet, la direction artistique de la sélection des concepteurs. Elle dirige artistiquement les concepteurs, les photographes et les illustrateurs externes, tout en respectant le budget et les délais, ainsi que la préparation des spécifications d'impression et le contrôle de presse. Liz était là lorsque BHO, Black Issue Ottawa, a commencé à participer au dévoilement annuel du thème sur l'histoire des Noirs. Toujours serviable et souriante, ajoutant de l'enthousiasme à notre lancement, elle a également participé et soutenu d'autres événements du mois de l'histoire des Noirs, comme le très populaire gala de la Global Community Alliance. Donc, c'est avec plaisir qu'aujourd'hui, Black History Ottawa souhaite honorer Elizabeth Wong pour sa solidarité en tant qu'alliée et son engagement à promouvoir la diversité.
Bravo.
Donc,
merci.
Bravo.
There's
Merci.
one more award. There is one more. I'm just going to let you line that up. So, we would like to briefly interrupt this event schedule for a very important award. So, I'm Sarah Nyango, but with Black History Ottawa, but I'm also a member of the recognition team with United Way East Ontario, and United Way has asked me to assist them with presenting a Community Builder Award to an unsuspecting person. And for those of you who have not heard about this program, it is the Community Builder Award program celebrates community members, individuals, partnerships, agencies, organizations, or neighborhood groups who work tirelessly, collaboratively, and enthusiastically to make our community a better place. In other words, the person we're celebrating today has stepped up and demonstrated a local love and passion for our region that has not gone unnoticed. United Way is all about building safer, stronger communities for everyone, a goal that would not be possible without the contributions of volunteers. And we have a deserving and unsuspecting recipient among us who is receiving this award today. And that person is... Okay, that person, okay. Anyway.
No wonder, oh my God.
It's Jean-Marie.
No wonder I'm looking at my program and I don't have this on it.
No, seriously. So it's Jean-Marie.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yes.
Definitely unsuspecting.
It is my co-host, Jean-Marie Guerrier, who is receiving this Community Builder Award. No, calm down.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So just sit tight.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah, it's all about you right now. Okay. So Jean-Marie is described as a passionate person who puts 150% commitment into anything he does. His humor, his patience, and creativity shine no matter what type of work he is accomplishing. Currently, Jean-Marie volunteers with Flow Seniors Health and Care Programs Network. He's also the treasurer for their board. He has more than 16 years of volunteering experience and started his community work back in Montreal in 1989. Jean-Marie started his work with the community while employed at the Centre Haïtien d'Animation et d'Intervention Sociale for 5 years. So the CHAIS is an organization that works to actively promote and improve social services for people and families within Montreal communities. They provide services for literacy, basic training, social and academic success for kids 6 to 12, parental education, community integration, and the settlement of refugees and newcomers, etc. So after his time with CHAIS, Jean-Marie moved to Ottawa, thank God, around 1998 and became a member of Black History Ottawa. You all know that Black History Ottawa is a volunteer-driven, community-based nonprofit that works to increase awareness of the culture, contributions, and history of Canadians of African descent within community groups and institutions. And when BHO was struggling, Jean-Marie stepped up to the plate to provide stability and direction to keep the organization afloat. And I can really vouch for that because we was in them trenches together,
yes.
Okay? So in the process, he inspired people to keep BHO going until a new team joined and relaunched the organization. And if it weren't for his dedication, seriously, Jean-Marie, BHO would not have made it as far as it has. Seriously. Your passion for Black History Ottawa has not gone unrecognized. So we don't have the award. Usually there's a plaque.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of hard to try and do this. I don't know if we can put up an image of what it is. So anyway, you all are going to get to see it on the United Way Ontario East website. Okay. But we do not have the award and we don't have the slide either. But we will get it to you in the coming weeks, Jean-Marie. But as a community, we want really, we wanted to take this moment to show appreciation for all that you have done and continue to do. And listen, all of y'all in the chat, you can, drop your congrats and your big ups and your thumbs up and whatever you want to show Jean-Marie some love.
Well, thank you.
So what do you have to say to that, sir?
I have to say I'm very surprised. Well, thank you. As you know, when we do the community work, we do it for the love of it, not necessarily for recognition, but just because it's something that we want to do. So thank you. And I'm suspecting that my wife may have known about that.
Sharon had no idea.
Oh, really? So
because we knew if we told her,
mm-hmm.
it was going to be really difficult.
Okay.
For you to not find out.
All right. So I guess it's between you and other members of the board. So yes. I thought there was no secrets among us. Apparently there is. So, one. All right.
This one, and it's a good one.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I don't want to take too much of this program because we've already gone long enough. But I do appreciate the nomination and receiving this award and working alongside you and all the other board members for the past years.
You're very, very welcome. And ladies and gentlemen, Jean-Marie does prove that there are heroes around us every single day. And that no good deed is too small. And I'm happy to tell you that United Way has a permanent display at the city halls in Prescott, Russell, Ottawa, Renfrew County, and Lanark County called the Community Builder Award, the Community Builder Wall of Inspiration. And your name will be added to the display alongside other incredible volunteers, community builders, and local heroes. Whenever we can, gather together, we're going to get to see that. And I'd like to take this opportunity to invite all of you who are watching, tuned in, to remind you that United Way's Community Builder Award Program accepts nominations all year round, all year, 365, all year, every day. So I do encourage you to think of people like Jean-Marie and our community builders who we just honored, who do deserve to be known and recognized for their efforts. And just go to unitedway.ca/Community Builder Awards, and you can go there. You find the link to the form. And one thing I did mention is that you're not the only board member to have this award. Now all of us have it.
Oh, nice.
Now all of us have
excellent.
it.
Excellent.
And among the BHO community builders, there are previous recipients of the United Way Builder Awards. Ewart was one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm in good company.
So yes, congratulations.
Thank you. All right. I think, thank you for that. For this brief interruption. I think we should go back to some of our performance that we have lined up and before we end the afternoon. So let's see who else we have on queue.
I am Black history in the making. You are Black history in the making. To all the mothers who raise us and the fathers who guide us, to the aunties, uncles, guardians, to our community who support us, you are
of the program.
At the end of the program.
But we've got a few more great performances coming up, and be sure to stay tuned to watch those artists. And one of them right now, I think the title of this piece, fits very well with the work with this program and the work that we've been doing.
Black history in the making. You are Black history in the making. to all the mothers who raise us and the fathers who guide us, to the aunties, uncles, guardians, to our community who support us. You are Black history in the making. To those who teach and those who preach, your Black history in the making. To those who advocate and fight for us, to those who stand up and bleed for us, you are Black history in the making. To those who dance our story, to those who sing our story, those who write and recite our story, you are Black history in the making. To those who design our tapestry, who weave our tapestry, and to those who strut our tapestry, you are Black history in the making. To those who farm it, to those who prepare it and serve it, you're Black history in the making. To those who announce it, post it, and promote it, you are Black history in the making. To those who capture it, to those who compose it, to those who celebrate it and elevate it, you are Black history in the making. To those who organize it and build it, and those who invest it and own it, you're Black history in the making. To our children who glow in their own, to our children who have something to say, we want to hear it. To those who want to play, we want to share it. To every his story and her story, children, you are our Black history in the making. Happy Black History Month.
J'ai connu des sommets, j'ai connu des vallées, j'ai connu des victoires et d'autres m'ont échappé. Ce que j'ai appris dans la joie et la paix, dans toutes mes expériences, la leçon est la même. Ne jamais dire jamais, rien n'arrive pour rien. Les malheurs du présent vont forger ton destin. Ne jamais dire jamais, rien n'arrive pour rien. L'épreuve dure un moment et n'est jamais en vain. La vie est un voyage qui connaît son chemin. À travers les orages, je peux trouver la paix. Et quand la nuit tombe, ce n'est pas la fin. Le soleil me promet un meilleur lendemain. Mes yeux vers l'horizon, je me suis demandé si je baisse les bras ou si je dois marcher. Ce que j'ai appris dans le bonheur et la peine, dans toutes mes expériences, la leçon est la même. Ne jamais dire jamais, rien n'arrive pour rien. Les malheurs du présent vont forger ton destin. Ne jamais dire jamais, rien n'arrive pour rien. L'épreuve dure un moment, il n'est jamais en vain. La vie est un voyage qui connaît son chemin. À travers les orages, je peux trouver la paix. Et quand la nuit tombe, ce n'est pas la fin. Le soleil me promet un meilleur lendemain. Ne jamais dire jamais. Ne jamais dire jamais. Ne jamais dire jamais. Continue ton chemin, yeah. Continue ton chemin. Continue ton chemin. Continue ton chemin. Yeah. Car rien n'arrive pour rien. Ne jamais dire jamais. Ouh. Ne jamais dire jamais. Ne jamais dire jamais. Ne jamais dire jamais. Continue ton chemin.
Wow.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hoping that you enjoyed all the performances that we had to offer you this afternoon, as well as seeing a lot of our award recipients. So I would like to say on behalf of Black History Ottawa, once again, congratulations to all of the award recipients. Thank you to RBC, Royal Bank of Canada, for being the sponsor for the Community Builders Award. As well, we'd like to thank the performers and the participants. I'd like to thank all the guest speakers for their goodwill messages that was sent. Special thank you to Canada Post for the unveiling of the stamp. We'd also like to thank Lisa Gay Price for not only being a participant, but also assisting us with the creation of the Black History Month flyer and other graphics. That leads me right to BIA Media. Thank you for all your technical assistance and support for this event. We'd also thank you, the local claimers of space. Thank you so much for being part of this event. And last but not least, we'd really like to thank Sarah Onyango and Jean-Marie Guerriere for their emceeing of this wonderful event. And we hope to see you again next year. Have a good evening.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, here we are at the end of another wonderful launch, and I'm wondering if I can put up the visual that we wanted to have for the community, the surprise Community Builder Award presentation. Yay! There it is, notre Jean-Marie qui reçoit le prix bâtisseur communautaire de Centraide. Right?
Merci encore. And yes, so spotlight on what else is happening on the month.
So we're now at the end, and well, first of all, thank you so much to all the people who tuned in.
Yes, and for staying with us.
Yeah, and stayed throughout and dropped some awesome comments in the chat. I saw André Fontaine, who has partnered with us, the Children's Aid Society, who sent some encouraging words there. All of the friends and families of our award recipients. I saw some people commenting. Some of the award recipients were in the chat as well. Alors, merci beaucoup. And so this is just one event, right? That Black History Ottawa puts on. We have another one that's coming up, right?
Yes, so February 13th, we have our annual Children's Stories in the Diaspora event. So this is another great event that's put on where we have members of the community reading books to children's book, and it's very well attended. Even last year,
it was
virtual.
More well attended because it was virtual.
So You could find this event and others listed on our website, blackhistoryottawa.org. Check the tab Black History Month 2022. Scroll down, and we have events listed there. We're getting more events as well.
Yeah,
so
we just keep updating as we get them. Since most events are virtual, I mean,
that's it.
Just send them to us. And hello, it is a not-for-profit,
Yes.
volunteer-driven.
So while you're on the website,
Donations, we
do
welcome your support.
Exactly. Yeah. Pendant que vous êtes sur le site de Black History Ottawa, regardez c'est quoi les autres événements. N'oubliez pas de cliquer sur le bouton des dons. Faites-nous un don pour nous supporter, pour qu'on puisse continuer le bon travail qu'on fait. On le fait à titre de volontaire. Et puis,
mais
dons,
ce que vous voyez, ça nous coûte.
C'est ça, exactement.
C'est pas gratuit. Donc, oui.
Donc, alors, as you go on the website to check the events, you could also go one or two tabs over where the donate button is there to keep supporting us, so we could keep putting on these great events. And all the work is done is volunteer, but we do have to come up with funds to help put on these events. So we appreciate your support if you can.
So blackhistoryottawa.org, and on there you're also going to find events outside of Ottawa Gatineau. The OBHS has events. Amherstburg has events.
Yes.
I believe Durham has events. I mean, we don't discriminate. We're putting anybody. Donc, si vous avez des activités dans le cadre du mois de l'histoire des Noirs, n'hésitez pas à nous les envoyer. You'll find the email address on the website as well, where you can submit those. And it's been great. It's been wonderful.
Yes, it's almost time to say goodbye.
And unfortunately, we got to go.
So we've got one more performance to play as we say goodbye. Yes, and you can all sing along.
Yeah.
And as we're getting this last performance ready, again, participate in as many events as you're able to. You can find on our website, and there's other places that events are listed. So make sure that you participate.
Yeah, for sure. And by the way, we Black all the time. So for Black History Ottawa, Black History is made every day.
Yes, and
every hour, every second, right?
Exactly. We hear the term. We hear Black 365, February forever.
Yes.
February and beyond.
Exactly. So goodbye, everybody. Take good care. Stay out of the cold. And
yes. And one love.
One love.